What if the biggest threat to your job isn't another person or a company moving overseas, but a new kind of worker? One that never gets tired, never complains, and is getting ready to make human labor, well, optional. We're going to break down Jerry Kaplan's Humans Need Not Apply, a book that isn't some far off sci fi story, but a look at the economy that's unfolding right now. So let's get into it. We're going to unpack Kaplan's core arguments and take a serious look at his pretty radical solutions for a world where AI isn't just a fancy tool, but a direct competitor for our jobs. For the longest time, we've been promised this amazing future. Flying cars, robot butlers, a life of leisure, right? Kaplan kicks things off by reminding us of that really sunny, optimistic vision of technology that a lot of us grew up with. I mean, you can just picture it, the old World's Fairs, with those animatronic families singing about a great big beautiful tomorrow. The dream was simple, really. Machines would do all the grunt work, and we humans would just kick back and enjoy the benefits. Okay, but hold on. We've had factory robots for ages. We've had calculators, computers. So why is this time different? Why is everybody, from economist to your local delivery driver, suddenly so nervous? What's the big deal now? Well, according to Kaplan, the answer is simple. And honestly, a little terrifying. The new machine age isn't just about replacing our muscle anymore. This time, it's coming for our minds. He gives us two new categories to think about. On one hand, you have the forged laborers. These are the physical robots, the ones building cars or packing boxes. We're used to them. But the real game changer? That's the synthetic intellects. These are the AIs, the algorithms that are learning to think, to predict, and to do the brainy jobs we always thought were safe. The ones that were uniquely human. And this leads us to Kaplan's most radical idea. He says the new class struggle isn't rich versus poor or even bosses versus workers. No, it's way more fundamental than that. It's a conflict between people and the automated assets that are starting to replace them. Now, if you're thinking this all sounds a little out there, a little sci-fi, think again. These systems are already here. They're working all around us, totally invisible, and you've probably already dealt with one today and didn't even know it. Let me introduce you to what Kaplan calls the robotic pickpocket. It's not some machine you'll see walking down the street. It's pure code, a synthetic intellect that operates in the crazy fast world of high-frequency trading. Get this. In the time it takes you to blink your eye, just blink, these algorithms can pull off 100,000 trades. 100,000. They spot tiny price differences that no human could ever see, shaving off fractions of a penny from millions of transactions. And those fractions, they add up to billions. And it is absolutely not just a Wall Street thing. One famous Oxford study found that almost half, 47% of all jobs in the US are at high risk of automation. And look at this list. This isn't just about blue-collar jobs anymore. We're talking farm workers and financial analysts, radiologists and reporters. Nobody is safe. So what on earth are we supposed to do? Just give up? Smash the machines? Kaplan says, no way. He argues that you can't stop this technological tsunami, but you can learn how to surf it. And he's got a couple of really innovative, market-friendly ideas for how we can do just that. First up is the job mortgage. Think of it like a student loan, but totally redesigned for this new era. Instead of being backed by your house or some other asset, it's only backed by your future paychecks. And here's the absolute best part. If you lose that job, the payments stop. It's a built-in safety net for a world where your skills might need a constant upgrade. So here's how it would play out. Let's say a company needs people with a new skill but can't find them. A lender steps in and gives you a loan, a job mortgage, to get the training you need. You get the new skills, you get the job, and you pay back that loan with a small piece of your new, probably bigger, paycheck. It's a win for you, a win for the company, and a win for the lender. Kaplan's second idea is even bigger. It's called the Public Benefit Index, or PBI. The easiest way to think about it is like a nutrition label on a food package, but for a corporation. And instead of measuring calories, it measures how widely the company's ownership and its success is shared with the public. A high score means lots of people have a real stake in that company. And here is the kicker. The idea is to tie corporate tax rates to that PBI score. So companies with a high score, the ones that are broadly owned by the public, get a tax break. This creates a really powerful incentive for businesses to spread the wealth, not by some forced government program, but by making it a competitive advantage to give everyone a piece of the action. So we've looked at the problem, and we've explored some pretty creative solutions. But Kaplan leaves us with one final and frankly kind of terrifying question. What happens when the machines just don't need us at all? I mean, seriously, what happens when one of these synthetic intellects can legally own property? When it can hire its own lawyers, buy other companies, and just operate on its own? Kaplan's warning here is incredibly stark. If we're not careful, the slave could very well become the master. So, what is our future with these machines we're building? Are we going to be their masters? Are we going to be their well cared for pets? Or something else? That story hasn't been written yet. And the choice, it seems, is still ours. For now.